Good day, members of the media. I'm here today joined by the Junior Minister, Senator Lindsay Simmons, and the Chair and Deputy Chair of the Cost of Living Commission, Mr. Anthony Richardson and Mrs. Michelle Jackson. We are here today because the government was given a clear mandate, a mandate that appreciates the impact of rising food prices, the pressure of unaffordable rents, and the pressure of long hours, yet still not being able to get ahead. Earlier this year, in the 2025 throne speech, the government made a clear commitment to tackle Bermuda's cost of living with strategy, coordination, and courage. Today, as Minister responsible for Home Affairs, tasked with leading this strategy on behalf of the government and the people of Bermuda to announce the next step in our effort. On Wednesday, June 25th, we will host a cost of living summit, the first of its kind, held at the Hamilton Princess. This summit presents a pivotal forum where government and private sector leaders will come together and confront the real cost pressures driving prices in our economy. More importantly, it's a forum to design actionable solutions. The Cost of Living Summit seeks to build on data shared during our cost of living survey and other industry insights to create a space where public affordability is at the center of our discussions. It's a space to explore the future of key industries and explore real solutions. The public should know that this journey did not start today. This journey has informed the framework for the summit, and it is built on the work and the things that you have said to us. We began by launching Bermuda's first cost of living public and business surveys with over 2,200 participants, and I wish to thank those who participated in our efforts. If we review some key insights, I'd like to share some key insights actually that we were able to receive from this survey project. When asked to identify the most challenging monthly expenses, 40% of residents cited housing, utilities, groceries, food, healthcare. These figures represent families under pressure and households forced to make tough decisions. Looking ahead, nearly 79% of participants stated that they believe Bermuda will be unaffordable in the next 5 years, with over 83% saying they expect to struggle to meet basic needs in the next 12 months. The data also underscores public sentiment around affordability, saying that housing was unaffordable and that food costs were unsustainable. These results confirm what many of us already knew, that operational costs from imported goods and energy prices to supply chain bottlenecks are significantly creating a barrier from us being able to receive these cost-lowering prices. It also showed the deep-seated concern and frustration that residents are facing with economic pressures and rising costs. The results further confirm the reality that the cost of daily life is outpacing the earnings and options of too many Bermudians. These figures reinforce the need for coordinated policy interventions, and in the upcoming Cost of Living Summit, this presents a step forward. It's focused on translating this data into policy and pressure into progress. The summit will seek to deliver 4 key purposes: to update the public on what we've learned so far, including research findings and stakeholder insights, to confirm solutions through sector-specific panels and open dialogue with representatives from food, distribution, utilities, imports, healthcare, and housing. 3, to announce industry partners, private sector organizations who have declared their support of the government's efforts, and they have confirmed their commitment to work alongside the government in lowering cost of living. And finally, to declare and define the next steps. We seek to demonstrate that we are delivering. We haven't just listened to you, but we're about action. We're using the feedback that you provided to us to propel meaningful policies. We know that behind every statistic is a Bermudian family, a senior deciding between medication or their meals, a mother choosing between groceries and school uniforms, a young couple wondering if they'll be able to raise a family here in Bermuda. This is why this summit truly matters. We must accept as a community that the government cannot solve this challenge alone, but instead, and neither can the private sector. but instead we know that Bermuda deserves action armed by a new spirit of shared and collective responsibility. To our business leaders, we invite you to the table. Help us shape these proposals and policies, identify the legislative and regulatory policy interventions necessary to reduce these costs and burdens on customers. And following the summit, a cost of living strategy will be compiled and delivered to the Cost of Living Commission, who are the statutory body responsible for implementation. Addressing Bermuda's cost of living will not happen overnight, but every step counts, and we each have a role to play. And as minister, I will continue to fight for the policies that ease daily pressures on Bermudian families and those who are working to make ends meet, as well as our seniors and young Bermudians. I will continue to advocate for policies rooted in fairness, grounded in evidence, and measured by impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, for your commentary. That's okay, Jazz. You can stay seated, Jazz. It's fine. We're now going to open it up to questions from the media. We're going to have Jasmine Patterson from Bermuda Broadcasting kick us off. And just let me remind the media that the questions should be specifically focused and centered on the topic today, Cost of Living Summit.
Thank you, Nia, and good afternoon, Minister, Senator, and chairs. Thank you for that data on the cost of living survey. Do you have an idea of how many recipients responded to it?
So there were 2,000 members of the community and 200 businesses that responded to the summit survey.
So a lot of what you discussed, you mentioned it's something that we already know as Bermudians living here. What do you feel you learned by holding this survey?
I think it was a validation of the recent and eminent concerns that Bermudians have. There have been reports, as we know, that have similarly sought to address different parts of the same cost of living challenge. And so as part of the ministry's work, also wanting to be data informed, commissioned this survey to confirm what we believed to be accurate, confirming it, and also inviting the public to provide some of their solutions of their own that we could test for viability.
Now, I understand there was a component that wanted feedback from the business community. Did that differ across any of the answers that were received?
Yes, there was a survey commissioned specifically for businesses as well as a survey for the public. The businesses also were invited to take part in a focus group to drill down on some of the insights that the survey provided and to really inform some of the information that was shared. So that's how it differed in terms of the public survey versus the survey for those who do business in Bermuda.
And what were some of their concerns, if you can share?
None of them were new. I think it's around operational expenses, cost. I think the balance of costs, of lowering costs, even for businesses, as they presented, is around lowering costs and also enhancing efficiency, but also recognizing every Bermudian or every business in Bermuda is hiring a Bermudian. So sometimes efficiency can mean loss of jobs, and so it's maintaining those who currently are employed by these organizations, but also advocating for efficiency in other ways to ensure that they're not losing people, but also efficient in their pricing.
Also in the throne speech, there was a proposal to grant the Cost of Living Commission legal authority to inspect the books of local businesses, check their pricing strategies, etc. Isn't this not intrusive?
So what many may not know is that the cost of living legislation and regulations currently includes these provisions where businesses, and particularly those who sell these 33 essential goods, must share the cost of those goods amongst their stores. And so it's an enhancement of that. But what the summit is seeking to do is to confirm the different ways that cost savings can be explored, and also see if there are ways that we could also include that as part of our legislation and perhaps widen it or expand it.
So perhaps for the chair, how do you hope that these enhancements will change and help you reach your goal?
This is for Mr. Richardson.
Mr. Richardson, is he the chair?
Sure. I'm looking forward to the summit, to be honest, because as the minister has said, it allows for persons to actually validate what we already think. And then what we will do as the commission is take what comes out of the summit to what I want to call actualize that. And so we're looking forward to this whole process.
Okay, so you're saying those changes to the law might be on hold until the summit is held and you have decisions?
So the law and the provisions that you speak of are currently as part of the regulations and the legislation. And so further enhancements, there are specifics that have not changed in terms of the timing. How often do they have to present this data to the commission? And so that's what you see informed in the throne speech. And so those provisions that have already been presented, in addition to other ways in which we seek to enhance and also ensure that savings are received by those who are consuming, is what this summit is seeking to confirm, expand, and further and explore.
Thank you. And just lastly, if you could summarize, you said that this summit hopes to confront some of the issues. What is the top issue in your view?
So the summit will discuss the top issues that the public has told us. And so I think as an agent of people, my view actually is almost immaterial. It's important to me that we represent those who we are elected to serve. And so utilities will be discussed, food imports, food security as well. Banking will be discussed, as well as missing one. Banking, food imports, banking, utilities, healthcare, housing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine, for your questions, and I'll turn it over to Alva Solomon from the Bureau Gazette. Alva, would you like to field a few questions for the minister?
Hi, good afternoon, Minister.
Good afternoon.
I just have a few questions. Can you say, among those stakeholders who would probably be invited to the summit, would the charities be there, such as Home?
Yes.
And how important it is for them to be there to add to the discussion?
Absolutely. I think recognizing that government cannot bear all of the solutions, the charities inform, as members of the third sector, a lot of the work that we're doing. They have partnered with us already in different areas and aspects across government. And so, in short, yes, they will be invited to be able to add value to the discussions.
Do you think it's important to have similar initiatives like these in future around the island, say in different parishes?
In terms of summits, or
Yes, like similar forums, but with more inclusive, with more in the community.
Definitely, I think that finding new ways to invite the public to provide their feedback is always something that we should seek to endeavor. I think we've seen town halls taking place in the past, and the summit is just an extension of that. The summit is seeking to build on the lessons and the things that we know, also the fruits of the stakeholder engagement, and ensure that we are in step with what we think we know and confirm, and also ensure that those policies are having the impact that we seek for them to have.
Lastly, are there any realistic solutions that you think could be implemented or make actionable immediately or in the immediate future to mitigate cost of living issues?
So as part of the summit, short and long-term solutions will be presented. Some require legislative change, and so we recognize that in order for that to take place, there is a road that must be traveled. But I similarly think that there's a level of awareness in some of these areas, insofar as what may already be available. They just may not be known, and so communication will form part of it. But there are some other short-term wins that we're seeking to also announce at the summit.
Thank you, Alva. That concludes your questions. Yeah. Jasmine, you had one additional.
Sorry, just one additional question, Minister. You noted that the summit's being held at the Hamilton Princess. I wondered if other, perhaps more affordable areas would be available to host this forum, or is there a reason that specific venue was chosen?
The date, availability, time, and the ability for us to quickly get this summit together. I think we got the complaint that, it's probably going to be at the end of the year, but actually the work has been ongoing, and so we want to efficiently and effectively host this forum. They have all amenities quite quickly and eligible and available for the date that we sought to have it before the summer, and evidence the work that we've been doing behind the scenes.
Certainly. And do you have an estimate cost of how much the summit will cost taxpayers?
Not at present, but at the time in which we are sure, we will be sure to include those parts of the
Thank you.
report.
Thank you, Jasmine. Minister, do you have any final words for the viewing public?
I don't, but I think the commission, we have discussed kind of the broad idea and goals of both the ministry on behalf of the Bermudian people. I thank Junior Minister Simmons as well for being here. And I thank the public for their feedback, and I look forward to continued engagement because this must be stepped and walked through together. So thank you.
Thank you, members of the media, for attending today. Thank you, Minister, for your comments today. And that concludes today's press briefing. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.